Welcome to the Buddhist Boot Camp podcast. Our intention is to awaken, enlighten, enrich, and inspire a simple and uncomplicated life. Discover the benefits of mindful living with your host, Timber Hawkeye.
Accountability has been taught to us from an early age. To get good grades in school, for example, we had to study. To get paid, we need to work. And if we want clean clothes, we must do the laundry. It sounds pretty straightforward, but there is a growing trend defying that logic, where people not only believe they deserve privileges they haven't earned, but no matter how much they get, the world still owes them more. Psychologists can't explain this sense of entitlement, but Buddhism refers to those afflicted by greed, jealousy, obsession, and compulsion as hungry ghosts, described as having huge appetites that can never be satiated. Mindfulness highlights our accountability for our inner peace, meaning we can't live a positive life with a negative attitude, for example, just like we can't expect to have food in the fridge if we didn't shop for groceries. I'm no stranger to entitlement, however. In high school, when I thought my boss wasn't paying me enough at my first job, I felt entitled to all the office supplies I stole, convincing myself I had earned it all through my hard work. At the first law firm that hired me, we represented landlords evicting tenants who didn't pay their rent yet felt entitled to stay. I've seen people show up late at the airport and get mad at the airline for taking off without them, and we have all been or witnessed drivers expecting traffic on the road to part for them like the Red Sea. As the joke goes, everyone faster than me is crazy and everyone slower than me is a jerk. Now, society's growing sense of entitlement is prevalent in many areas of our culture, but let's discuss what we all experience. Road rage. At one time or another, we have all been on the giving or receiving end of it. I got my driver's license on the day of my 16th birthday and immediately started delivering pizzas in San Francisco. So for almost 3 decades now, I have not only driven in almost all 50 states across America, but I have also been fortunate enough to drive in various countries around the world. There is an interesting difference between driver behavior in first and third world countries, where the roads are often equally shared between cars, mopeds, bicycles, tricycles, cattle, buses, goats, you name it. And although it sounds chaotic, and it often is, there is very little road rage or none at all. If someone wants to go faster than the vehicle or the livestock in front of them, they don't demonize the slow-moving traffic. They simply drive around them with no animosity whatsoever. They might toot their horn as a courtesy to let the other person know they are in their blind spot, but I've never seen it done out of anger or spite. It's just a friendly way to say, hey, I'm about to pass you, don't be alarmed. Last month, however, I was a passenger in a car driving on the freeway in Southern California. We were driving in what Americans call the fast lane, which in the US is the lane on the left, while vehicles driving slower than the posted speed limit are urged to keep to the right. I was in the back seat of the car, and the driver, who shall remain nameless, was driving in that left lane, going slightly faster than the maximum speed allowed by law. Unfortunately, as is often the case in this country, the driver in the car behind us suddenly started flashing his high beam lights and honking the horn for us to get out of his way. Yep, you heard that right. His way. I know this is a touchy subject for many drivers, so I want to be clear. I am not talking about country roads where tractors slowly drive halfway on the shoulder so others can pass, nor am I talking about certain states in the US where the left lane on 2-lane roads is reserved strictly for passing, similar to 2-lane roads in the UK, except reversed. I'm talking about multi-lane highways where the maximum speed allowed by law is largely ignored and nobody is apparently going fast enough for anybody else. If the Buddha was alive today, he might change the name from hungry ghosts to speed demons, but the infliction is the same. In case this topic is already upsetting you, to lighten things up a bit before I keep going, it all reminds me of a comic strip where the police officer pulls someone over for speeding, and the driver asks the cop, "Do you know who my father is?" To which the cop responds, "Why? Did your mother not tell you?" If accountability feels like an attack to someone, they are not yet ready to acknowledge their own behavior. So if that sounds like you, maybe skip this episode. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. After all, this is not about speed limits or other drivers. It's about whatever is brewing underneath the rage and animosity we have towards others. It's about the entitlement, the greed, the self-centeredness, and general preoccupation with our own desires at the expense of others. We understand that if you want clean plates, then you do the dishes. Similarly, if you want to go faster than the driver in front of you, then go around them. It doesn't matter who you think is right or wrong, because if you have the expectation that the world should run according to you, that is the source of your misery, not the other drivers, not your landlord, and not the airline. Ultimately, if what you really want is to be happy, truly happy, without any internal or external conflict, then align your beliefs, words, and actions. It's the only way to be happy, and nobody else can do it for you. Trying anything else is like trying to cut water. We can't be at war with ourselves and live at peace at the same time. It's not possible. The Buddha understood this, and psychologists agree. This is not a personal attack on you. I just want us to be mature adults here and admit that hungry ghosts are never satisfied. It's nobody else's responsibility to make you feel good about yourself. We each have our own path, and nobody can walk it for us. Many crave validation and to have their sense of worth at least recognized, if not celebrated, by everyone else. But at the risk of sounding insensitive, that's the textbook definition of a codependent relationship, except it's with the entire world. Accountability is empowering. That's why the Buddha said, work out your own salvation. And Carlos Castaneda said, we can make ourselves happy or we can make ourselves miserable. The amount of work is the same.
Timber Hawkeye is the best-selling author of Faithfully Religionless and Buddhist Boot Camp. For additional information, please visit BuddhistBootCamp.com, where you can order autographed books to support the Prison Library Project, watch Timber's inspiring TED Talk, and join our monthly mailing list. We hope you have enjoyed this episode and invite you to subscribe for more thought-provoking discussions. Thank you for being a soldier of peace in the army of love.